Hi guys, what we're gonna do today is talk about significant figures and the rules that goes with significant figures. So significant figures. Woohoo! So you don't ever have to ask me how many numbers do I put, miss? Okay, with these rules you will know. Alright, but first we gotta talk about the rules. Okay. The first rule states that if if there are non-zero numbers, then they are significant. And I'm going to abbreviate that word as Sig Figs, too long, okay? What do I mean by that? Example, if I have 1, 2, 3, anything all the way up to 9, they're Sig Figs. They're good, okay? So you count them as Sig Figs. Number 2, if there is a decimal point anywhere. When I mean anywhere, I mean anywhere in a number, and there are zeros at the end, because those zeros are the problem, okay? So we're going to talk about a bunch of zeros from now on. At the end, then there are Sig Figs. They're significant. What do I mean by that? Example, if I have 1, 0, 0.00, 2, 5, 4, 3.01, well, let's make that 0, 0. Alright, so in this case, there's 4 zeros at the end of that non-zero number, okay? So if I have a decimal point anywhere in the number, doesn't matter where it is, okay? It could even be this. Doesn't matter where it is. If I have a decimal point anywhere in the number and I have a zeros after the non-zero numbers, they're all significant. So in this case, this one's good, and then you're going to count these 4, so that's a total of 5 significant figures. I'm going to do that just to abbreviate, okay? Here it is that I have 2543.00. I have a decimal point anywhere in the number, zeros on the end, so that's a total of 6. In this case, 3, 4, and 1, 5, 5 Sig Figs, anywhere in the number. In this case, I have a decimal point here, and I have zeros on the end after the non-zero number. These 2 counts. Check, check. And of course, we know this one's good. These, we're going to talk about these in a second, but that's not my rule. So I'm going to stick to this guy and say 3 Sig Figs. The third rule says, if there is a decimal point, if there's a decimal point anywhere in the number, let me go ahead and scroll down so I can get space. If there's a decimal point anywhere in the number and there are zeros, there goes those zeros again, in front of a non-zero number, then they are non-Sig Fig. they're just placeholders, okay? That's all they are. Those zeros are placeholders. They're holding that spot. What do I mean by that? Example. You know I gotta give an example. If I have this, here it is. I have zeros in front of a non-zero numbers. These guys, they don't count. So technically, that's only 2 sig figs. Here it is, I have zeros in front of a non-zero number. But then, whoops, decimal point anywhere in the number. You got zeros on the end. That guy is good. So in this case, we have 2 sig figs. Okay? The next rule, rule number 4, states that if there are zeros or 0 in between two non-zero numbers, in other words, something that's not 0, guess what? Then those zeros, they are sig figs. What do I mean by that? You know, I'm going to give an example. 2, 0, 5, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 1, 0, 0, 7.0. So here goes. Here, I have 3 significant figures. The rule says if I have 2 non-zero numbers and I have a 0 in between them, that 0 is good. Here, I have 2 non-zero numbers and I have these zeros in between, 2, 4, 6, 7. So those are good. I have 2 non-zero numbers, these 0 in between, that's 4. But oops, decimal point anywhere in the number. And you got zeros on the end, that counts too. So that's 2, 4, and 1, 5. Okay? So make sure that you keep an eye on those sig figs. Okay. Another rule states that if, did I cover all of them? Got one more. If there are no, or I should say in this case, there is no decimal point anywhere in the number and you have 0 at the end, then there are not sig figs. What do I mean by that? Example, 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 4, 0, 0, actually, sorry, let's leave it at those 2 for now. Look at this one. I have this, there's no decimal point anywhere in the number, therefore it's only 1 sig fig. Look at this one. These 2 zeros, no decimal point in the number, they're not good. So therefore, these, it's only 3 sig figs. Please refer to the other rule that that makes this guy good, okay? So those are your rules for your significant figures. So therefore, when we do calculations, you're better able to tell me how many sig figs if I'm multiplying or how many places if I'm also adding and subtracting. Okay, so we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Please have these rules. Make sure that you memorize these rules, okay? So that you're all ready and fully equipped to go. Make sure that if you have any questions or concerns that you send me a message on Edmodo or in my email, and I'll be glad to clarify anything that you didn't understand from this tutorial, okay?